Okay, hi everybody. This is Felicia Euback. I'm the forestation leader, and I'm going to talk to you about using the Mass Envirothon 2021 school siting web map. So these are a lot of fun, and the first thing I want to let you know is don't be afraid to play around with this. Whatever you do here, once you log off and log back on, it'll go right back to normal. And if you do a lot of things and you want to get back to normal, I'll show you how to do that as well. So first thing is, this is our area that we're working with. And this is the screen you're going to see when it pops up. You'll notice down here, this is a scale. Let you know approximately the distance between things, but you don't have to rely fully on that. Up here, this is our home button. So if you do get a little crazy and you're not sure where you are, I just completely zoomed in, you just hit this home button and it brings you right back here. These buttons right here are for zooming in and out. You can also use the wheel on your mouse, which is what I typically do. And once again, you can hit the home button, it'll bring you right back. Now, these guys right here are called widgets. And in order to understand how to use these widgets, and maybe you don't want to come back and watch this video again, you just have to hit this little I. Think I for information. And if you hold your cursor over it, it'll say what it is. So guide to the widgets, hold it over, map layers, show the legend, get measurements, and change the base map. So let's click on the guide and it'll say, please click here to see an explanation of the widgets in this map. And it brings us to this. So here we can, it shows us exactly what each one does. And it's very easy to understand. So we'll go back and we'll click on the layers. Now, this is a lot of fun. You can go in and click on these things. If you see a little arrow next to it, click on it and that'll show you what the symbol is. So if you're looking for certified vernal pools, you click on that and look, a couple popped up over here. Let me move this out of the way. And yes, you can move these out of the way. And there's our certified vernal pools. Public water supply sources. Click that little arrow and it shows you the symbols that you're looking for. I think in this instance, we have to back up a little bit to see those. And there we go. Okay, and just click it off. Another one is, let's see. You can see the ones that are all on there. Biomap. So it gives you the biomap areas. And when you open the biomap, you have additional things that you can click on. And unfortunately, you have to keep clicking down to get what all of this is. If you need a little bit more information on what is a core habitat or a critical natural landscape, then you'd want to, you'd have to get out of the map or open another window and go to that website, and it'll give you a nice explanation of what those are. So any of these you can click on and off. Over here, you can set a transparency in these three little dots. And that helps if you're looking at something that, like biomap, it takes over, so you can't really see what's underneath it. But if you hit the transparency, you can make it so that you can see what's going on underneath while still seeing the layer itself. Can you see that? So that's a very helpful tool. So I'm going to click that off, close over here. The other really nice thing, as you might be noticing, is, well, I don't know what this layer is in the background. So all these lines, this is a topographic map. And these lines represent different elevations in the ground. You can change that base map. Let's see, let's go to 2019 ortho. And now we can see what exactly is pictured there. So these orthos are satellite images, kind of like Google. So you could go in and you can actually see what's there on the ground, and you can zoom in pretty good, especially with the newer ones. You can actually see the trees. And the water. Other base maps that we have are streets maps, which won't bring you too much out this way. Oops, I zoomed in too much. But these street maps are also nice. It just gives you a little bit of a clearer picture of what's going on. Typically, these are a little bit better if you're in urban areas. And then the USA topo maps. And this gives you a little bit more detail. Once again, I can hit the home button, have it bring us right here. And it just gives you a little bit more detail on the topography than the base map that we already have. And so you can play around with these layers and add whichever layers that you would like to. And then we're back to where we are. We also have this button here, which shows the legend. And this just tells you everything that you're seeing, all the symbols. So the red line is the property boundary, and you can move this around to get a better look. So the school complex, that's anything in these symbols are the complex itself. And the star right here shows you it's the water supply well and septic. And of course you have the rivers, the lakes, wetlands. We don't have any salt wetland out here, tidal flats and that sort of thing. But if we went out east, you'd be able to see all that. The other thing I'd like to show you is measure. So there's two ways that you can take a measurement, by area or just distance. So the area, when you click on it, it'll take it by square feet unless you would like something else. So you can do acres, and then we would come over here to see how many acres we have. Just want to click, click, click. And if you really want to get right on the money, and then when you're finished, you do a double click and it'll tell you how many acres you have. And we can also change that to square miles, hectares, and back to square feet. The distance one is basically the same thing. So you just pick a location, click on that, and go down, and that's how many feet you have. To remember, you have to double click to end it. And once again, you can go up here and change that to miles, kilometers, meters, whatever you wish to work in. So you don't have to worry about trying to convert measurements. And if you press Control while you're doing that, it should snap right to what you're working with. So let's give that a try. See, I pointed it at something and then I pressed the Control, and you can see that little crosshairs pops up. So then I click on that. And because I'm still holding the Control, it snaps right to that line and ends, and I can get an exact measurement. Okay, so we did the legend, the layers, the identity. The only other thing is up here. So if you'd like to print what you're seeing, you can do that. Otherwise, if you want to share the map, maybe you're working on this with a friend and you found something interesting, you can click this to share it. And all you have to do is share this with a link or even with one of these options here. And you can just copy and paste if you don't want to use these. This is if you want to find an address or a place. I can't say I've used this too much, but it is helpful if you want to try to play with that. And then this guy right here, add data. Once again, you can add a lot of data to this. And remember, the more data that you're adding, it's going to, it might bog your internet down a little bit depending on your connection, because some of these layers are very, very data intensive. But so you can type in something if you want to see what's out there, or you can use something that automatically comes up. Here's a US forest type. Let's try playing with this. Oops. That comes up when, and I just lost it. That comes up when it's information that's you need a password for. So I have an account with ArcGIS Online. And so if you have a school account or something like that, that was the area you'd want to put that into. So if you don't have one of those accounts, you may not be able to really use this. But everything that you need for this project should be in here in the map layers. Okay. And if you wanted to see what those are, so you could see who owns it. If there's something that you feel that you're missing, please let us know, and we can either send you to another source or try to get that for you. But once again, this is a very, very easy and user-friendly web page. And you'll notice that when I clicked on that and I accidentally closed out and I got back in, it brought me right back here to the original sign. So if you ever get worried or you get confused and you just don't want to see what's going on anymore, you can always close out, come back in, and it'll be right where it was originally. So please don't be afraid to play around with this. All right, any questions? Feel free to contact me. My information is on the Envirothon website. Thank you.